here, look at this magic wand. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what it is.
And then you fall, and then you jump way up, and then you fall down.
Yeah. How do you think that helps you in this space, being in a real estate marketing? Like, it could be controversial, but how do you think it's beneficial for other people? Ready?
You good? Our feet are almost touching. Are
Ready?
we good? 3, 2, 1.
Welcome
Action.
back to Art Home Podcast, episode 3, guys.
Hey.
We've gotten so much great feedback. We appreciate it so much. So, yeah, now we're back for episode 3.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
So, what are we talking about today?
So today's topic is utilizing marketing in our personal businesses.
Yeah, guys. So we've given you tons of tips, strategies, and I felt like now it's time to speak on how we personally use it in our own personal brands.
Yeah, more of like take action. Let's share some examples.
Yep.
How we actually do the things we say we do
Exactly.
for our benefit in our lives.
Mm-hmm. And then just how, because we both have different audiences, so I felt like it would be helpful to like speak on who our audiences are, what's worked best for us, and so yeah.
Perfect.
Nice.
So I guess to start, we can talk about what each of us does outside of Art Home Photo,
Yep.
and then we can each dive into our own personal story.
Let's do it.
All right, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So I help college students who struggle with identity development and are really lost in their life and just uncertain of what they want to do, because, I mean, a lot of college students go into college not knowing what they want to do. So, yeah, I help college students figure out who they are, what they want to do with their life, and set an action plan for the rest of their life to make sure that they live a fulfilling and purposeful life. So that's what I do outside of Art Home Photo.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And do you guys still say wellness coach? Is that still the term?
So a lot of people are like, so it's called abundance life coaching, obviously. So
Yeah.
life coach, but that's
Life
just too
coach.
broad of a term. So when people ask me what I do, instead of saying life coach or mindset coach, because then it just end of the conversation, I help college students. And then that's my magnetic message. So
Oh, and you kind of draw them in with that too.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean you help them?
yeah, exactly.
That's
So
smart.
yeah, so yes, we are wellness coaches though.
Technically, yeah.
But yes.
Just for the people that don't know what exactly that all means.
Yeah.
I'm
So-
obviously familiar with it because of you,
Yeah.
but
So yeah, I actually just got certified to be an NLP practitioner. So that's like the roadmap to your brain. So if any of you know Tony Robbins, that's how he got started, which is crazy.
wow.
So yeah, so that's like techniques, hypnotherapy, and then my program, you just go and do your values, vision, goals, and purpose, and then you hit every area of life. So you hit all areas of life, and then we also do situational coaching too.
Which makes sense. 'Cause
Yes.
It's all situational, right?
Yep.
Everything in life.
Yep, 3-month program.
Ooh.
Transform your life.
I think sometime we should talk about the stigma around hypnosis and
Yeah.
God
Yeah.
and how that relates and how that can be misconstrued.
Yeah,
'Cause I've heard-
actually, oh my gosh. This is getting,
Sorry.
yeah.
we can touch on that. You
Yeah.
want to go there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, so there is a lot of people that are Christians and think that things like hypnotherapy or things like that are sinful.
Like black magic.
Yeah.
I think it's all connected.
It's not at all. It's literally just your brain and understanding the science behind your brain and how, because there's like alpha waves, beta waves, like all that. And it's just tapping into that and getting into those different, that's all it is. It's not some like, here, look at this magic wand. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what it is. It's really just the roadmap to your brain. And honestly, when you understand the roadmap to your brain better, you have a better connection with God. Because there's 3 levels of mind. This is getting off topic, but you have your conscious mind, your subconscious mind, and your superconscious mind. So your conscious mind is the one that's thinking right now. This is the one talking to you right now. Your subconscious mind takes direction from your conscious mind, which is why self-talk is so important. So if you say, oh, I'm an idiot, subconscious mind hears that. That's how your beliefs are instilled. So
Wow.
if you're not aware of that, your conscious and subconscious mind are always going to be out of alignment. But once you become aware of that, you can align them. And once they're aligned, that's when you connect to the superconscious, and that's God, Christ within.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a little bit of what I do.
Okay.
What do you do?
That was just, my mind. First, though, we need to talk about your glasses.
Yeah.
What is she wearing, guys?
These are blue light glasses. If you want to make fun of me, go ahead in the comments. Honestly, I don't care. But no, I'm just kidding.
No, so they're blue light glasses, but they're not blue. And in the past, I've bought blue light glasses that had the blue tint, thinking that's working. Apparently, it's not.
No, if you want blue light glasses and you want them to actually work, you got to get the orange tint. So these are Sedlac, made by Sedlac. If you want to go cop, go for it. But really, you don't have to just cop these ones. Really, any of them that are orange or like a red tint, that's how you know that they're actually working. So I personally wear them so that I have pristine energy throughout the day. I wear them before bed at night, and also so that I'm not blind when I'm older.
Take care of yourself, guys.
Yeah, take care of yourself.
Moral of the story.
Yes.
All right, cool. So what do I do?
Yes.
Besides Art Home Photo and Art Home Social and the marketing that I do here, I'm also a real estate agent. And I've been doing that a little over a year now. And I would say I do it part-time at this point because of, obviously, marketing. But how I tie that in... So I started off in real estate, I guess. I'm going to backtrack a little bit. I was an assistant. I wanted to learn the business while I was in school, taking the night classes, studying, trying to pass the exam. Took forever. Shout out to that exam. It sucks. But anyhow, so I started out from the bottom, worked my way up. I wanted to learn the ins and outs of the business. I did some social media posting. I did a lot of behind-the-scenes type of stuff. Transaction coordination help, like assisting with that. So through that process, I learned about marketing yourself in real estate and what that means and how freaking important that is. It is everything.
Yeah.
So there's almost 2,000 realtors in our city. So like we said last episode, standing out in a world full of noise and chatter and everyone wanting to sell houses for everybody else is important. And how do you do that? How do you stand out? Marketing. So marketing yourself, creating your own image, and being unique is massive.
Yeah.
So I ran with my actual true self, which is how you do it right. And I share like the day-to-day stuff. So that's kind of how I structured my real estate marketing, is sharing my day in the lives all the time. And my 2-year-old Theo, shout out to Theo, 2.5, I guess, almost 3. He does showings with me. So I started to share that. And as soon as I started sharing that actual side of the real, taking him to showings, I call him my assistant all the time because he holds doors for people when they walk through houses.
That is so cute, dude.
Yeah. I'll give him a purpose too. I'll be like, hey, can you hold this paper for mommy? And actually have him hold the MLS listing sheet that has all the details and be like, hey, can you give this to the person, you know? But I started marketing myself as like the mom realtor who brings her kid to work in the evenings and weekends and open houses sometimes even.
Yeah.
As long as there's no items he can break safely, of course. But I started to really market myself as like that relatable mom who's working.
Yeah.
And that, I think, is what really helped my business. I get other moms, other women out there who reach out and say, we love what you're doing. Like literally, I got a message this morning. I'm not even kidding.
That's awesome.
This girl, she just follows me. She's from like some random city in Arkansas. And she also posts mom content on Instagram. And she's like, dude, I love what you're doing. Congrats on the closing yesterday. Like,
wow.
I love seeing your kid involved in your work.
Yeah.
So I really ran with that because it's my reality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and that's a great niche to tap into.
Yeah, I didn't even mean to.
I know,
I was just being
it's
honest.
just being yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. Circle back to the last episode.
I know, seriously. I mean, it's all going to build on each other because we're doing what we said we were going to do, basically. Mm-hmm. And it's just what worked for us. And it's just the name of the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
I try to share valuable content too. I have that as a point to talk about as well, and like providing knowledge and information for people who don't necessarily know what's the market doing. Like, is it a good time to buy? Yeah. What's going on in real estate?
I mean, whatever industry you're in, if you're not providing value in any way, nobody's going to really care, you know? And so, I mean, if you're not an expert on anything and you're not providing value, nobody's going to listen to you. And when you give free value all the time. I mean, the value that you've learned, the value that I've learned, worth probably tens of thousands of dollars, right?
Yeah.
But it's like when you're open to giving that. Dude, what is going on right
Leaf
now?
blower
There's a leaf blower
outside
right
the
now.
office.
What is? Okay, well, anyways.
Wait, this is real, guys. There's a leaf
Oh my
blower
gosh.
outside of our
Okay.
office.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, when you give, it makes the ask so much easier. Because that's how you build trust with your audience, is giving, just free value.
Dang.
And so, like, I mean, I've made free worksheets. I've made, all these things. So when I go to actually sell my coaching, which always sell in private, never go on your social media and be like, oh, come, whatever, buy this of mine, It's just icky. Nobody likes that. But when you do go to ask, like, it makes it so much easier.
Dang, that's good. I actually have a point on here to talk about converting in the DMs. Take it through the DMs.
Yeah.
Like, don't be salesy in your posts.
No.
It's so unattractive.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Which goes back to the human connection that we've been talking about the past 2 episodes and why people love that so much. But before we go into that, I just want to know, since we're just talking about your real estate journey, how do you think that helps you in this space, being in a real estate marketing? Like, it could be controversial, but how do you think it's beneficial for other people?
So I'm used to producing content for myself and getting out of my own comfort zone and being on the camera, which I love being on camera. I'll be honest. I always loved photography and modeling and all that. I used to do that, when I was younger, but I think what I use and how I've struggled my way through learning doing it for myself, I can use that conversion. Like, how do you actually take, so the knowledge I've learned with posting videos and getting comments and likes and people interested in what I'm up to, I learned how to actually take that and make something out of it. So continuing that conversation in private, like you said, like, hey, I'm going to message this person because they're so interested. They're like, hey, what's the market doing? Like, is this house still listed? I saw you did the showing. I liked that property, whatever. And not just leaving it at that, taking it and say, hey, I actually have a couple other houses I've seen that are similar. Let's go look at them. And not being pushy with it, but being more informational. Like, I have more information. I have more things I can show you along the lines of what you're inquiring about or what you're commenting about.
Yeah.
And almost like nurturing the lead.
Yeah.
Even if it's not a lead. I've had one where a couple months later, it ended up turning into a buyer for me, and we closed on a house. And talk about providing free service, by the way. That's what I was going to say a second ago.
Yeah.
As a realtor, you don't get paid until you hit that closing day, days after closing, until the check comes in. And it might have been a year process for free driving and gas, showings. That's your time with your child. Like, that's your time with your family. You're out just working for free. So you're providing a free service essentially, and they may not buy that house or any house with you. They may ghost you. They may go with a different person. They may not buy a house. They may rent.
Yeah.
So providing that free service, I guess, or free labor essentially, with a smile and being optimistic that it might turn into a paycheck down the road is so important as a realtor in that industry.
Yeah.
You can't be pessimistic. You can't be like, oh, this person's not even for real.
Yeah.
You have to just work for free until it pays off in the end.
Wow.
Maybe 50% of the time.
I could go into so many different routes with everything you just said. Like, first off, like, knowing that it's a risk that, hey, like, I could not even get paid and I'm like putting all this time into it.
Yeah.
Like, but knowing that if it does go through, the reward is so much bigger. And like, you have the freedom, which is why I just love entrepreneurship, because you have the freedom to make as much as you want, like, depending on the work you put in.
God willing.
Whereas like clocking in, clocking out, you know how much you're making, and you cap out at a certain amount. So I love that. And I just love that. I do see you grinding like the late nights and the early mornings all the time. And the year of just like going and basically just working for free that's what it takes. And so many people don't see that on social media. They see the overnight success, people with the Lambos and all that. And like, they're like, hey, you can do this overnight. No, nobody's ever an overnight success. And that's just truth. Like, anybody that is successful these days has at least done a year of like what you've done of building the foundation, because you can't build a house, you can't build a building without a foundation, right?
Yeah.
It'd fall down. So
Right.
same thing with like success. You have to build a foundation, and that takes like a year plus sometimes. Like takes 2 years, 3 years, maybe 4, like, you know, like, but like when you're so dedicated to that and you're putting all your time and energy into it and keeping a positive attitude,
So
like,
important.
yeah, success will come your way eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's so many memes and images on the internet that show the ladder of success, and then you fall, and then you jump way up, and then you fall down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so true. It's so true, especially in real estate, especially in entrepreneurship, because you're building, yes, and say you fall down. I actually had a deal fall through the other day, and it's heartbreaking, and you just want to be so angry at that moment when it happens. But what did I learn? I learned to be more proactive for next time, to be very clear and concise when writing agreements and agreeing to someone's agreement. And I mean, it was no fault to anybody. Like, deals fall through because a mortgage doesn't fund for someone. That's just life. But being overly like proactive and cautious the next time around, so that doesn't happen again necessarily. I mean, it'll probably happen again. And accepting that. It's just accepting failure while you're being successful. It's
Failure is
hand in
feedback.
hand.
Failure is feedback.
Yeah.
That's just
crazy.
truth. And like, I just love perspective. I could talk about perspective forever, but like, energy is so important. I don't think people realize that, which is kind of like what I was talking about at the beginning. Like, what you tell your subconscious mind, it's always listening. It's always listening, and it's there to prove you right.
Yeah.
So energy is the same way. And like when you're producing that anger, it's metabolic.
Yeah.
And those things are just going to keep coming your way, and it's literally does nothing. But when you can be like, okay, I want to be angry, and recognizing that, but being able to have the choice of like, okay, I want to be angry, but I'm going to choose to be joyful. I'm going to choose to be at peace. And like the energy shift is just crazy. And like people don't understand, but everything's energy.
Yeah.
Money's energy. Like the way that, like, that's why they say don't hold on to money. Like, be open with it. It's energy. Let it flow through.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I could talk about energy too forever, but
Yeah, I literally learned all this last week too with that deal falling through.
Yeah.
Like, I was so upset, and it's like, why? My team, my team leader, my broker owner now, he goes, why are you so upset about that? Why do you not have 5 other deals in the pipeline to focus on now and shift that focus, shift that energy?
yeah.
He literally says that to me, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you're so right.
And being able to gauge where you are mentally is how well can I shift my focus into thinking from scarcity to abundance, thinking from fear to faith, which is why, like, one of the things that I sent you, The Game of Life and How to Play, that is one of the best books ever. It's short. Like, it has everything in it. Like, and I sent you the word, speak the word for prosperity, and just trust that God is man's supply. There's an abundance of everything. You know how much money is on this world? Like, there is an abundance of everything. And when you can just have faith, obviously you have to take action. Don't just sit here and be like, oh, God's going to bring me all the money in the world. No.
Right, I hate that.
Yes.
You can't sit here and just pray. You have to act.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to act.
But yes, speaking that word and just trusting that God is my supply, He will deliver. And it's great. That's why I sent it to you. So in the story, they use an example of a lady who she had to pay her debts to someone, and she was freaking out. It was like $4,000, something crazy like that. And she didn't get the money in time. And she was going to this lady, the girl that wrote the book. She said, please speak this word over me. I need this money. And she spoke the word over her. She didn't get the money by, like, I think it was like Saturday or something. But then the girl was like, don't worry. It's not business, like a business day, so they can't process it anyways. It's always on God's time. God's never late. That, like, Monday morning, one of her family members, like, came, offered her the money, and it was there on time.
Insane.
Yeah. And when you can just trust in God and have faith that He will provide in the most, like, insane ways that you never even thought of. Like, yeah. So
many things I could prove that point with in the last week.
Yeah.
Insane.
Say your experience. I would love to hear it. Just because, I mean, that's a vital testimonial.
Yeah. I mean, I'm literally buying my house from a land contract. which if you guys have questions about that and creative financing, let me know. I finagled a deal that is just insane.
Yeah, because I have no idea what that means. So I need someone like you.
And so I basically got a house. I moved to Fort Wayne. I was actually in Ohio before this. And I was renting, obviously, at first. Didn't know where I wanted to live in the city. And honestly didn't have much money to buy a house. And so I just started in real estate. I was getting like my feet under me. And I found this house that I immediately knew was meant to be mine. It's creepy. I showed it to a buyer, ended up like 3 months down the road moving into it, which is wild. But I love it. It's the cutest thing. And I couldn't get a traditional mortgage at the time because I had just switched careers and had a child and so many things had just happened. So I knew about land contracts from learning as an assistant under someone, and creative financing was his niche, and I learned so much. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna propose a land contract to this owner, this investor that owns this house. They flipped it, and like it wasn't selling for what they wanted on the market, and I couldn't get my buyer to buy it, and it was a blessing in disguise.
Yeah,
actually, because I was like, why don't you want this? This is perfect for your needs. It's the cutest house. Turns out it was meant for me, which is goosebumps.
divine right.
Yeah. So the land contract came into play because couldn't get the traditional mortgage, needed more time at a job. And so I basically paid rent or payments every month that deducted the final purchase price for when I go to buy it. So that's what a land contract essentially is. And so now I'm going to buy it out, and I'm getting it for under market value. It appraised for $50,000 more than what I'm buying it for. So I have instant equity, which I don't know if I'm talking too fast and in too many real estate terms for people who don't know real estate, but that essentially means like if something happens, I need to sell it, or I need to pull out, or I want to pull out money to buy an investment property. I can immediately after closing on it, which not immediately, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a great situation to be in, to have equity. And so I'm buying it out finally. It took a couple extensions, a couple like headaches and tears, and a lot of tears and patience, but the timing worked out perfectly. I had a closing yesterday that it's just insane. Like I had a deal fall through that was going to fund what I needed to buy the house. I had another closing that miraculously closed right on time to take those funds to put here. Like literally what I needed.
God is always on time. He's never late.
And I didn't think it would happen.
Yeah.
Not going to lie.
Yeah.
So that's what a land contract
so
is.
Much. But okay, let's switch back into like the social side of things. Yeah. And so with all the things we've talked about, talk about like who your audience is and what platforms have worked for you with that audience and what kind of content you make.
Yes. So I love making reels. I love video, like motion in short forms. People love that, short attention spans across the board. So I do a lot of reels. I do a lot of day in the life type stuff. I show a lot of images of houses I'm showing, all that. My audience is mainly on Facebook and Instagram, and I'm shooting for people who can buy a house. So I'm shooting for anyone from mid-20s through like, I don't know, 50s, 60s, retirement, whatever.
Yeah.
So I have a broad audience. So to appeal to those masses can be tricky. So I just try to do a variety of things. So I don't do too much of one thing. But I post a lot of videos because people like to watch videos in short form. And I use Facebook for a majority of my lead sourcing. So when I have people commenting, like I said earlier, like messaging or liking a lot of my videos and posts, I'll message them like, hey, thanks so much. I appreciate the support. And that's it. I don't dig all the time unless they specifically comment, I love this house. Mm-hmm. Like, that's something we're looking for.
Yeah.
And so I'm just there, and I provide information as needed. And I started to get questions. I get people inquiring, hey, my friend, blah, 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 is looking for a place. They're moving to town. Actually, I need to call someone that reminded me. So a friend, like someone I knew back in high school in Ohio. I was like, hey, so-and-so that I know is moving to Fort Wayne. They just got a new job. Here's their phone number. Help them find housing.
Let's go.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So being there and following through.
And I mean, I feel like that's a perfect example of having a social media platform and telling your friends and family like what you do. Like recently, once I figured out I help college students, I've been telling everybody because I want that in their mind to where when they do come across somebody who is struggling with those exact frustrations and they're that exact person, they have the perfect recommendation.
Yeah.
Oh, I know somebody. And so that's just so powerful. And then also having a social media platform where you are literally there. It's literally like a whole book of just like, you know, proof. And so I think that's so helpful just for word of mouth and referrals.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So yeah, my audience is a little bit older than yours.
Yeah.
So Facebook is great for mine.
Yeah.
And I think Facebook's one of the easiest things to use.
Yeah.
Because it is so broad and a lot of different age groups are on there and people see stuff. I believe they see more things on there for businesses than say Instagram. That's just my personal opinion, but my Instagram, it does have a lot of posts similar to my Facebook, but we've been talking about this lately. We use it more as a highlight reel, more as like, hey, here's my Instagram. Let's go see what she's all about.
Yep.
But then Facebook, there's like conversations going. There's a bunch of like detail work underneath each post.
Yeah.
So that's my audience and my platforms that I use. I'm not necessarily a TikToker. I've tried it. I've dabbled in it before for past jobs, but I'll let you touch on that because that's more your audience base.
Oh, yeah. So TikTok is my highest followed platform. So the main platforms that my audience is on is TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. And so that if you look at my Facebook, you're not going to find, I think I have like 5 reels on there. I don't know. And that was even, I didn't even post those when I first made them. I post them later because I was like, maybe I should have something on Facebook just in case people look me up. Facebook. Because, I mean, Jimmy being Abundance Life Coaching, his platform's on Facebook. So if he ever like recommends me, I was like, maybe I should have content on Facebook. But I really don't post on Facebook at all. I've been kind of like dabbling into it, but like it's not where my audience is. And so mainly I do post on TikTok. I go live once a week, and that's been such a growth strategy for me. So usually on other platforms, that's just a nurture strategy because it's only going to your followers.
Right.
TikTok, you go live, like I'll be in there and there will be like 400 people that are on there, and I'm like, I kind of get scared a little bit. I'm like, what do I even do with these like people that are on here right now? Because it's just random people. But every time I've gone live on TikTok, I get at least 10 plus followers each time.
Wow.
And I only go live for maybe 5 to 10 minutes. It's crazy.
That's not bad, yeah.
And so now it's my most followed platform. And TikTok also, like I spoke about, I think in the first episode, is just like you can post whatever on there. And like you literally think of a video idea, pull out your phone, talk, and done. Like you don't need like, yes, like if you have the time and like you're at home, like, and you want to plan out content, you can do that. But like I've filmed videos in my car with no mic, no edits, and it's like done really well. And I'm just crazy. Like, what? Like compared, and then I look back at like the ones I did edit, and it's like, dude, what? It's crazy. But so lately my focus has been posting on TikTok, and then if that video does well on TikTok, then posting it on my Instagram and editing it for Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And and then YouTube, I have my podcast, but it's by myself, so it's not as fun as this one. But if you do want to check it out, so I do have that podcast, and then just also long form content because I love just talking, to people and talking to my audience. Which there is more YouTube content coming soon because there's not any recent on there right now. But yeah, and then YouTube Shorts, that's been great for my YouTube as well. And yeah, and I love YouTube too because actually my first ever discovery call came from somebody that didn't follow me on any other platforms but YouTube.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yep.
Well, YouTube, you search for something and you get random things that pop up.
Yeah.
Related to that topic. So using the SEO, do you use SEO when you put your captions and stuff?
Yeah.
Does that help you at all?
So here at Art Home, I run the YouTube channel, and I do for that. I just kind of post really whatever. on my YouTube channel, but like the videos that are like in the works right now, I am using SEO because listicles. So that's like 5 things that blah blah blah, or like 5 reasons why, like, so having like a number in there, that, and then how-to videos do really well.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm gonna have a lot of those coming out soon. But
That's exciting.
yeah, and then same with YouTube Shorts. Like we talked about, there's a shortage of that, so like they're pushing a lot of those, which is why, yeah, posting on YouTube Shorts is great.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
almost
getting
like
on new
reels,
eyes.
aren't they?
Yeah,
Then
but
they make a little bit.
everybody's posting Instagram Reels right now. Not
Yeah.
everybody's posting YouTube Shorts. So
Yeah.
it's like, if you can post on YouTube Shorts, do that for sure.
And you can almost use what you make for a reel and also use it for a short.
Oh,
correct?
that's what I do. Yeah. I haven't been making as much content lately, but when I was back in like grinding making content, every time I would post it to TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and then also TikTok. Like if you have old TikToks that, you know, if you want to download it, it has the watermark and stuff. There's actually a website called Snaptic. So you just put the link in there and then you can download it, and then it downloads it without the watermark.
So then you can recycle your content.
Yes.
Which is also a good tip.
Yeah. Which we can talk about that next episode.
Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this one.
Yeah. Are we wrapping it up?
Let's wrap it up.
Okay. So that was episode 3. We can talk more about how we personally use all the strategies in our personal brands. But yeah.
Talk about it for hours, honestly.
Yeah, we can talk about so many things. Again, if you guys have any questions that you want us to answer, comment on YouTube or Spotify, or DM us on Instagram. Yeah.
Shout it out.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah,
Stay
thanks
tuned.
for all the support. Love you guys.
Bye.